Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. Plus, last run was extremely very good. We started with Proptosis. This time we start with Small Rock. That's pretty solid as well. BGE3, JDPK, with good damage, fine rate of fire, and horrible speed, and the scissors. Mixed bag, it's fair to say. Oh, but, you know, we replaced the scissors with the sprinkler. I don't think the sprinkler is necessarily good, but I think it's interesting. And I'll take interesting over the scissors for certain. It's an item that was added in the booster pack. Stewart is me, did you make this item? I think you might have made this item. I saw you tweeting about it. And I was like, make a note. That's a nice dude. Don't say mean things about that item. I don't think it's a bad item. So I got no mean things to say to begin with, but then at the same time I was like, I think this thing, it'd be nice if it sprinkled brimstone. I know what you're gonna say, when you get brimstone, it sprinkles brimstone. Yeah, but I want it to sprinkle brimstone always. I think that would be very nice for me. You could make it a 5-room charge if you, okay, this is like a bit that's going nowhere. Oh, he's done it. I waited for so long to find my moment there. But we made it happen. I want to try, let's experiment a little bit with this item. Maybe we can make something happen with the sprinkler. Like, what if we try to put it, like, directly inside of an enemy who doesn't really move? Bad example. Do we want it dead center? Or do we want it, maybe stop putting it in the middle and start putting it, like, closer to enemies? Wow. Thanks a lot, Blue Baby's soul. Like, Blue Baby's item is sort of like a B-hole. And I'm not talking about Bluehole, the developers of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, the ultimate life and death fight. Not a sponsored video, just a funny tagline. Okay. I will take the screw. The screw's good. You know what? That just made the sprinkler shoot faster, and all of a sudden, I'm starting to understand, I think. Previously, you get the item, especially if you're already overpowered, and, you know, this is why I like Eden runs, but if you're already overpowered and you get a spacebar item, as often happens, tendency, for better or for worse, is just to pop it, like, once, and then be like, yeah, you know, it's okay, I don't really get it, let's just go back to shooting things and they all die in 2 seconds. On an Eden run, you know, you gotta savor it a little bit. You have to savor it. Like, it's not like you should savor it. It's like literally you might only have a couple of advantages that you're leaning on for a long time, so you gotta try to make it happen. So we actually end up using these items and maybe getting a newfound appreciation for them instead of just being like, yeah, it like exists and is not that transformative necessarily by itself. This is actually pretty good, I think. If we put the sprinkler down here, should take care of most of the riffraff. Or at least help. I do think, like, I mean, obviously this item has been tested. And I used it for 2 seconds and then said, here's how I would fix it. However, it doesn't necessarily need fixing, but I would like if the tears did more damage. But maybe there's, like, a reason for that. Maybe they don't do more damage. I mean, I'll start by saying I think they should do more damage because they don't aim. So once every 4 rooms, you get something that might not necessarily hit enemies, but maybe the synergies eventually make it worthwhile. So it seems like if you wanted to have good efficiency, it should have higher damage, but maybe if you're fighting like a Gurdy, you can put the sprinkler like directly inside of the Gurdy and just go to town. And I mean, that's an awkward way to phrase that, but at the same time, I can see it happening. Sure, let's try it. I guess what we want to do is never put down the sprinkler close to, like, a rock. Even here, it's semi-close to this rock. Alright, I've been distracting myself with sprinkler talk. It's a value add right now, and that's fine. What are we hoping for from our deal with the devil? Honestly, tear effect. Death's Touch, Brimstone, not Mom's Knife, but, like, something that could conceivably make the sprinkler even cooler. We gotta try to become Dark Judas. If we're gonna try to become Dark Judas, without any bombs, I think we want to go like that, that. And then we don't have to kill ourselves, but if we find a way to make it happen, like as soon as we find a spirit heart or something, we might want to try to swing that, because, or if there's HP in our boss fight, because it would be good to get that damage bonus. Our damage is actually great, but of course with Dark Judas it would be better, and we're not really losing out on anything by doing so. So 1 bomb would help a lot. Maybe 10 bombs in here? Holy water, huh? Alright, well, you can't always get what you wanna, but if you cry sometimes, you just might find your water's holy. It sort of worked. I was, like, backed into the comedy corner there, which is my favorite venue in Santa Monica. See, that's a joke that makes no sense, because I haven't traveled the world doing stand-up comedy, but if I had, it would be a good joke. So here's... I was gonna say, here's what we're gonna do. And then I was gonna say, here's what they think about you, and I was gonna wrap all of the PG-13 parts of Ice Cube's epic diss track, No Vaseline, but that really is only about 15 seconds of airtime. Yo, Dre, stick to producing. Anyway. We have no keys. I think, as impatient as I am to get our damage upgrade from Dark Judas, or Jark Judas, I don't think we should do this. I think we should save it and maybe use it, you know, if we can get a free deal with the devil or something out of it, that's probably better value. But I am, you know, I'm eager to get up to that next tier of damage for certain. I'm thinking Sprinkler's one of those items. You know, it's not really a superstar right now, but I'm giving it runner-up placement in the most likely to succeed superlative category right now. Because I think in its future, there's great things. Just need the right tier effect to pop off. Homing tiers, I don't know, continuum maybe, you know, something along these lines. I can see it. I can feel the heart beating as one. We're gonna get it going. Oh, careful. Northern Lion, did you just reference the 1997 Yo La Tengo album that Pitchfork called the 13th best album of the 2000s, of the 90s? Yes, I did. There's some great tracks on that. Damage is a good one. Sugar Cube. I don't remember many others. It's probably been like 10 years since I listened to it. You know, they weren't 100% my jam. More of a Guided by Voices guy, as long as we're talking about, you know, Pitchfork rock. Ooh, Little Brim is good, but I'd prefer if we got that effect for our Sprinkler. Close but no cigar right now. And if we're going super in the, like, pretentious direction, which I love to do, we should not have picked this up yet. I'm a Spiderland man, personally. You know, it's shoegaze plus math, and then you gotta listen to this guitar screech. It's otherworldly. Anyway, great album. Where are we going here? Not being facetious. Swallowed Penny. We got 2 trinkets. Yes, we do. We got 2 trinkets. How about you? We could still possibly take 2 deals with the devil on our next floor. And then kill ourselves, respawn as Dark Judas, and not have had any opportunity cost loss. You know, you're starting to get a little wishful thinking here, but... Here we go. Get dusted. If only Little Brim had moved like a second faster. By the way, like, much to my surprise, way ahead of schedule for Boss Rush, and I was just thinking, Sprinkler on Boss Rush. My favorite Rage Against the Machine song. My favorite Rage Against the Machine. Oh, you don't call them Rage Against the Machine? That's the Canadian pronunciation. Le Rage Against the Machine. My French is so bad now. I joke about it, but first it is sad because I took like 10 years of lessons in school. And before you say that makes me an idiot, it was mandatory. And also, I speak French better than most of my classmates, I think. So something wrong with the educational system there. But I seriously, the bulk of my French now is, puis-je aller à la salle de bain, s'il vous plaît? And then, that's can I go to the bathroom. Not really useful as an adult, because if you ever ask somebody for permission to go to the bathroom over the age of, like, 25, yo, you gotta get a new line of work, because that's very subservient. quite uncomfortable, honestly. You ever have that? Maybe some of you were this kid, and that's okay. You know, live and learn. But you ever have that kid in your college classes, like day one, put up his hand and asked the professor if he could go to the bathroom in an auditorium with like 500 students in it? Don't be that guy. It's not okay. Secondly, a child asks a teacher to go to the bathroom. If you're a tourist, well, I said it so strangely. If you're a tourist, you just ask, where's the bathroom? Où est la piscine? No, où est la salle de bain? There you go. See, less bad. Then beyond that, it's seriously, bienvenue d'abord, Air Canada. Pour autre concern et comfort, something. Like, I've predominantly fly Air Canada because I'm patriotic and gullible. No, they always have seatback entertainment. I like their level of service relative to WestJet, although I know not everybody agrees. Anyway, I've almost got maybe the first third of the Air Canada safety announcement in French memorized. But you know, I gotta say, it's a relatively minor inconvenience, and I think it's important that, you know, up here in Canada, it is weird from an American standpoint that we have, like, everything's in English and in French, but it does preserve both parts of our culture and heritage, and I think it's a uniquely Canadian thing, or at least it's part of being Canadian that's kind of important. I can understand it. But it is inconvenient sometimes when you're like, you just want to watch your movie, and then, you know, the pilot makes an announcement like, oh, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached 35,000 feet. Please leave your seatbelts buckled unless you have to go to the bathroom, but the captain will be turning the lights off so you can move freely about the cabin and, you know, did blah, blah, blah. Enjoy our 5-star, you know, Skydyne level of service. And, you know, talks for like 3 minutes. And you're like, dude, I'm trying to watch Whiplash here. Damien Chazelle's magnum opus, in my opinion. And you're really messing up my momentum. And then finally, he finishes the announcement and the movie starts playing again. And then, you know, the chief flight attendant gets on and goes, you know, bienvenue, welcome, etc., etc. And you're like, oh, he's got to do the whole thing in French again. It's really refreshing to fly on an American airline on a domestic flight, and you're like, oh, announcements only happen once. Sucks for you if you don't know English, but for me, I'm getting like 8 to 9 extra minutes of entertainment per flight on the house. A victimless crime. But then, like, if you ever fly to, like, Korea or Japan, I can't speak for China, but I assume it's similar, and you fly on, like, an Asian airline, prepare yourself. Like, first Korean, second Japanese, third Chinese, fourth English. You're getting announcements up the ass. And you always feel bad, because you're like, thanks for having the English one. You could have cut that. Nobody would have batted an eye, but I appreciate it. You're the one holding other people up. And isn't that that's the spirit of traveling, is, you know, in your own country, you see a tourist, you know, we see it in downtown Vancouver all the time. We'll be walking around, we're like, oh, I gotta go see, you know, somebody. I gotta run an errand. Like, his office closes at 4:30. We gotta go. And then, like, there's a group of tourists in front of you taking a picture of, like, a bank. You think it's just a bank. The building was built in, like, 1991. It's concrete. It's a concrete bank. And they're like, ooh, the architecture here is very interesting. No, it's a bank! And then you're like, oh, stupid tourists. And then you fly to someone else's country and you go, oh, look at the architecture on that Papa John's. It's beautiful. Thanks, we built it last year. Oh, it's contemporary, huh? I knew it had quite a modern bend to it. Anyway, you get the idea. The whole point of this joke is not to disparage tourism at all. In fact, it's, as with most of the Northern Lion jokes, it's to remind us that the more we rally against something, the more likely it is that we are the thing that we hate, and to have some humility. Okay, don't take that yet. We got big plays. They're multiplying. Thank you, Dark Bum. We can't take anything else in there, but it was still the right call to try to go for it. Then we take this. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Damage is through the roof. Not bad. People like... You know, they're surprised. I'm going to open this to look for a key, and then I'm going to stars out. Stars in charge. Oh, kind of fudged it up there a little bit. There we go. Like, yeah, I'll take Dead Onion. Our shot speed was fine, so... in Canada, we legitimately have 2 major airlines. And the country is freaking enormous. So you got, like, 2 choices. I hear you, Europeans. You complain about flying, but you were spoiled. And I mean that in a nice way. Like, oh, I had to fly Ryanair from Paris to London. And I'm like, that's amazing, dude. You had a choice. You know, you want to fly Vancouver to Toronto? Direct? You got 2 choices. You can fly Air Canada for $50 less. And also having no seatback entertainment. You could fly on WestJet. That's it, dude. You have the option to pay less to be treated like shit. And that's the essence of capitalism. And I understand your complaints because once I did fly with an American airline by the name of Allegiant. And that was actually like, they nickel and dime you for everything. So this dude was like arguing with the gate agent and was like, hey, my kids are like 4 and you're not gonna let me sit with them? And the lady was like, well, I'm sorry, but you know, you do have to pay for seat assignments. And then I was like, man, I'm witness. This is like an actual Greek tragedy. Like, the father hates Legion Airlines. Sorry, I didn't want to disparage Spirit, although I've heard that they're also in this same boat. And then I was like, this poor woman. There's no way, like, deep inside, she's a human being. She's forced to uphold this horrible policy that allows them to sell $80 flight tickets but rip a family apart. There's no way, unless she's getting paid like $95,000 a year to make this father and his 2 daughters sit apart on this airplane. The airplane's all shaky too. It's not like a nice new airplane where the kids are gonna be like, this is like being on a train. It's nice. It's like Disney World in the sky. Those kids are gonna be like, we're going to die. And our dad is 45 rows back holding all of our luggage because the overhead compartments are full. It's an extra $75 to put our bags up there. Anyway. I know there's nothing more boring than hearing someone talk about their travel. I know this because despite the fact that I may seem well-traveled, I didn't fly for the first time until I was 22 years old. So I've made up for lost time. Like, it's really only been 6 years of flying, but you know, I understand where you're coming from. So if you haven't been on an airplane, don't disparage, man. I know the feeling 1,000,000%. To a hearts. Not very good. Before that, had I been out of the country before that? Yeah. Most Canadians have been out of the country. You drive an hour or 2 across the border to the US to get cheaper gas when fucking Shell gets their nuts in a vice, you know? Last week, $1.09 a liter for gas. This week, $1.35. I don't think so, Chevron. Go down to fucking White Rock, eh? Get it for $3.60 a gallon. Okay. We're looking, I mean, we're way ahead of schedule. We're very, very slightly... White Rock is in Canada. I fucked up the joke. And if I'd never said anything, only like 2% of the people watching this would have ever known. That's not the Canadian way, though. Either way, we're gonna donate as much as we can here. We don't, I mean, we want Spirit Hearts. We don't need Spirit Hearts. We do want a teleport card, but honestly, maybe we should just not take a teleport card and try to make Sprinkler go fucking off. Yeah, I can live with that. We were at full Spirit Hearts. Dude, that's pretty sweet. Alright, this is actually like a really... I'm looking at the score and I'm like, this is a daily run. I mean, it's not a daily run, but I think you know what I mean. We're on pace to have a good score, which doesn't usually happen on runs like these because I'm paying less attention to the damage that I'm taking for one, but also like not worried about consumables and, you know, etc., etc. So this is swell. Nothing wrong with this. And dude, the spectral tiers are making life a lot easier there. We don't need small rock because we already have small rock. Metal plate, I have looked up many times and still do not understand. Is it something that synergizes with, we should get that. Is it something that synergizes with, Rusty Razor? Dull Razor? That's it. Rusty and Dull are 2 different things. But a great name for the new, bumbling duo of Malice in the new Power Rangers film, which I have not seen, but I heard is possibly good or not so good. It's one of the 2. I've heard a lot of people be like, it's fun, and I've heard a lot of people be like, it is garbage. But I saw a Japanese animated film by the name of Your Name yesterday. That movie was dynamite, man. It was awesome. I had an amazing time. I would recommend it even if you're not a fan of anime. And I say that because I'm not really a big fan of anime. At least not yet. I've seen Spirited Away, and every time I say Spirited Away, people go, that's not even an anime. That's just an animated film. And I saw Ghost in the Shell 1995, you know, the original animated Ghost in the Shell. Not the new Scarlett Johansson one. Although, despite its critical reception, I actually want to give it a shot because I liked Ghost in the Shell 1995 decently. And was like, I'd like to see, just for curiosity's sake at least, the modern take. I'm not interested in getting involved in the controversy, but I just like to see what they did with it, how they Americanized that movie, and visually it looks sort of interesting. Anyway, beyond all this, that was like the third anime I've seen, unless we're counting Dragon Ball Z. So, you know, I thought it was a touching and also intriguing science fiction romance, to be honest. It's got like a more innocent interstellar thing going on, but still quite consequential. Anyway, that movie's good. And Ghost in the Shell might not be. The new one, sorry. Or maybe it is. I haven't seen it. Which means I can act superior. Ghost in the Shell. I don't waste my time on movies like that. I only watch foreign cinema. I go to the movie theater when they do virtual tours of the Louvre. Yes. Oh, have you seen Ghost in the Shell? No, not the movie that came out 4 days ago. I mean the 1995 original. It's one of Oshi's greatest films. I'm starting to, like, this is the tape that I sent into HBO, and I'm starting to see why they didn't cast me in Game of Thrones. Can you stop doing that? You got the Hodor look down, but can you stop doing that ridiculous voice? What ridiculous voice? Whatever could you mean? I'm not taking the D100, dude. Sprinkler is popping off. I'm afraid I'm quite unaware of what you're saying, and also, I would suggest that you can't handle my strongest potions. Well, I mean, this run is gone to a weird place. I can't believe how strong we are, considering how many deals with the devil we've not gotten. And I mean, we deserve to have gotten them. We've qualified for all of them, I think. Just, you know, semi-bad luck off the draw. But Dead Onion, Dead Shot is doing work. Oh, 2 keys. We're making money. We still got our key back. That's fine. I want to find a way to make Sprinkler pay out more. And I think it would be ridiculously overpowered if we could do so consistently. But I also feel like the only way we can make it happen is like Head of the Keeper, Sackboy. And then you can put down like a couple of sprinklers on a boss room. If you place them properly, you can do some serious work. Like, this definitely seems like an item that is a boss rush enabler. And that's cool. Like, getting battery charges on a room is okay, because it means we can use sprinkler more often. However, we want to get battery charges on the room that we're presently fighting, and we want to be able to do so repeatably if we're going to make this item hit, like, you know, 9 or 10 out of 10 levels. Because as of right now, I mean, again, not every item, it's a false premise to say that every item, like, should be good. Like, I'm gonna measure this against Mega. Why would I ever take Sprinkler if Mega's around? That's not really fair, you know? If Connor McDavid's in the NHL draft, you know, you're probably not gonna take Victor Hedman with the #1 pick. That doesn't mean Victor Hedman's not worthy of a #1 pick. He's a franchise defenseman you can build a team around. Yeah, we're gonna take this and we're gonna embrace invincibility. Sorry, HP. So I think, like, the thing is, though, you look at this and you go, What if, instead of having the sprinkler once every 4 rooms, once every 2 rooms we had Shoop da Whoop, which is more damage, and you can actually aim the damage at an enemy of your choosing. It doesn't compare that well. Except, I embrace the fact that on Boss Rush, pardon me, been talking a lot today, on Boss Rush is pretty cool. And that's enough. At least this is an item that is A, competent, and B, has some use some of the time. Like, it has very good use some of the time. Elevates it above a surprising amount of items in this game, not to throw stones, plan C. Anyway. Sure, I will go to our curse room, and I don't regret it. But I should, because it was bad. So we'll pick up our spirit hearts here. Mostly, I'm just hoping to hit the end of the run. Feeling good about ourselves, and so far I think that's definitely likely. Keep going for it, you know. You can, just gonna say, you can make the Guppy dream happen. This is not Guppy, this is Fate's reward, but I don't think we'll do Hush, and my main reason there, well, there's a couple. One is that the sprinkler doesn't really synergize. It wouldn't be bad to have the sprinkler firing, especially if we could land it inside a Hush at times, but the other one is that, what do? We don't have enough keys to open everything, so we just try to open as much as we can. And we don't really have that much money either. It's like the imperfect storm. Not my favorite George Clooney film. So I think we're better off just, I don't want to say coasting because it gives the wrong impression that we're like, you know, we got senioritis or something. Oh, NL doesn't want to work for his wins anymore. Excuse me, did you see our Dark Judas play? Not every Isaac run can be strife all the time. Some of them are just too good. And being in this situation with this much damage this early is one such situation. We took big risks to elevate ourselves, and I'm glad we did because it worked out. But I mean, at some point, you know, you make sacrifices in your youth, live well in retirement. That's pretty much what's happened here. You know, we were very risk-prone, and now we're reaping the benefits of having navigated that early Isaac lifestyle effectively. And I think the better you get at Isaac, the more experienced you get. I'm assuming that I'm talking to, you know, people that probably many of them have over 500 hours. A much larger percentage have over 100 hours. And everybody that's watching this video at least has played 10 hours. There might be, like, unique exceptions, in which case I am stunned. And flattered, but stunned. But, for the most part, I think that's the kind of metrics we're dealing with here. So most of you are in this boat, I'm sure, but the more you play, the less the game becomes about the mechanical stuff, because you're going to do that well most of the time anyway. Well enough. And the more it becomes about the correct decision-making process. Yeah, I'm just going to go up, and I feel like I'm cheating you out of content a little bit. But it's really just, even with the stopwatch, like, it's not enjoyable to fight Hush necessarily on this run. Although Deadeye's real good. Anyway, what's done is done. Give me a Yera rune. Let's have a good chest here. A ragdoll. Living in cathedrals are bony. Northern Lions, least favorite enemy. Probably, maybe. I'm trying to think who would be my least favorite enemy in Isaac. Bonies are hard because they've got great shot speed, low telegraph. Like, they don't show that they're going to attack before they do it for very long. And then you have to get line of sight with them, basically directly, to hit them. So in order for you to hit them, they can hit you. And their shot speed makes it tough for you to, you know, outmatch them there. There's a lot of nasty enemies, though, not including bosses. Okay, fine, let's do it. Oh, strike out, okay. Also not good. 4 keys is fine. If we get Yera, we'll need 4 more, but... Dude. We don't need this many trinkets. It's a little silly. It's too many trinkets. I don't need that many trinkets. Oh, come on. Let's go. Well, that's fine. Again, we spent 4 keys, probably that we'll not need later. So lucky us. Ooh, and there's another one anyway. This is going to be a pretty quick run in the whole scheme of things, though. You know what? Although we didn't do Hush, I think I would be okay doing Delirium. Now, I know probably I've doomed myself now to the existence of a Delirium fight, but that's okay. I think I'm ready. I'm trying to figure out how Sprinkler's working. I think it gets Deadeye when we have Deadeye. So I don't think it's connected to the last shot it fired. Which is actually really great. Oh, Midas Touch. I think Party Hat might give us HP. No, it gives us the world's worst damage upgrade. Is it sincerely just a joke that makes you look like a clown? I mean, I appreciate the graphical effect a little. Maybe I'm missing out. Easy breezy. See, there was going to be like a... Maybe she's born with it, maybe it's Maybelline joke, and then that just evolved into a callback from last episode. Easy breezy, beautiful, cover girl. Okay, what are we doing here, AJ? We're throwing down sprinklers, and we're still waiting for car battery or something. I can't believe I didn't even think about it, but car battery is like the ideal choice here. 2 sprinklers, assuming they don't cannibalize each other's hitboxes. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. Let's go. We don't have special bombs, do we? I mean, we've got golden bombs. No, we haven't gotten any bomb synergies. Honestly, having no bomb synergies is rarer than having a bomb synergy, so... I'm a little surprised. Fun run, though, and it's, you know, a nice, powerful, a little taxing, especially early on, run that kept us sharp and takes us to win number 11 here. As far as I'm concerned, there is not very much wrong with that, so... Oh, I thought you were dead a million times over. Lacking a little bit on the absurdity front, but we got a new appreciation for Sprinkler. It's an item, consider it like mid-tier. Like, I think it's better than Necronomicon, which is my like universal punching bag for items. But I don't think it's an order of magnitude better. I think it's just like, it's an item I wouldn't hesitate to pick up again unless we had a top quality spacebar item. If we were dealing with like a C-tier spacebar item, I'd have to think about it, but sure, Sprinkler's cool. I mean, what did we replace Scissors? Scissors is actually like an F. I actually just do not understand the utility of that item in the least. But we did have like a, not quite perfect, but a really nice situation for Sprinkler as well. You know, we got piercing shots that are dealing a lot of damage, and that makes it look maybe a little better than it is, but not worried about that. Don't need the key in all likelihood. It's a long chest here. And it's especially crazy knowing that we're going to do the chest and then there's just going to be Delirium afterwards anyway. He said, with a wry smile, which is not W-R-Y. It's an R-Y smile because I'm Ryan. I've trademarked that. Anytime you say that yourself, or even if you just watched it, you owe me a nickel for every person in the room with you. I'm sorry, kids. That's business. Looks like Daddy Equity's done it again. Uncle Equity sounds way better. Not to be confused with Uncle Equus. Don't go over and watch his programs until you're of the correct age. He's gonna try to show you some stuff. Okay. Are we gonna have Delirium? Odds are probably not. But I want to believe that we made the prediction correctly. Let's go. Oh, that's a bummer. Or is it? I don't know. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. and I'll see you next time.